Tonight, we discuss YouTube's decision to partner with Wikipedia to combat conspiracy videos and Donald Trump on the Stop School Violence Act. Hi, and welcome back to Just Informed Talk. I'm your host, Craig. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Special thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed. As I say every episode, without you guys, this channel would not be possible. So I want to thank you all for doing that. If you haven't yet, come here to the landing page. There's a big red button. Click it. You can then you'll subscribe, and then make sure you hit the bell for notifications. That's how you become a subscriber to this channel and a part of the Just Informed Talk team of people here. We have great people in the comments, great information, great thoughts. I appreciate it, and I'm so thankful. But nothing new on the cue board, in case anybody is wondering. We basically have nothing new at all, just the same stuff we had before. As you can see here, we're still at the NWO reference and what all that is in reference to. But today's episode is going to be a little different, and I'm going to talk about something that I think deserves to be discussed. And it's about this service and platform that we're on right here together. What is free? What does free mean? What is censorship? Well, it would seem to some it has many different explanations, but to me, censorship is basically any form or fashion to stifle the free flow of information and the free market from acting in accordance with the will of the end user or the infringing upon the right of anyone to publish, create, or make content. Now, YouTube's been walking on a fine line with this, and you know that the censorship's out there. Maybe you've recognized this InfoWars, and you'll see that they've been having many issues with content being banned or striked, and then unbanned, and then rebanned, and whatever that is. It's very interesting to see other people like Roger Stone getting kicked off of Twitter. So it's just something to be seen here that we have even now today coming out in the news. We have the family of Seth Rich is actually suing Fox News, and with all this censorship out there, the question we must ask ourselves is, do you trust the mainstream media? Do you trust Facebook? Do you trust Google? Do you trust YouTube? Do you trust Twitter? Narrative, censorship. I'm going to read through this Q post because I think it's important and relevant to this. It says, narrative, censorship, do not blindly believe, fake, they want you divided. Together you are strong, apart you are weak. Organize, challenge, fight. Do you think Antifa was grown organically? Purpose, watch the news this week. And that was on March 4th, okay? So not too long ago, about 10 days ago. And where does that take us now? Where are we now? Well, problems I've been experiencing just on a personal level that I think a lot of other YouTube content creators could identify with is the way that my content is treated on this in this regard. I'm actually given a lot of freedom, it seems. I'm not really heavily censored, but I have a question. I have multiple questions, I guess you would say, about how the algorithms work. How do they pick and choose what to push forward and push backward, put to the top of the list or put to the bottom of the list, and how does a video like mine, one of my videos, get almost 30,000 views, and then after that they choose to demonetize it, and whenever I request a review, it just takes a very long time for them to get back, at least a day, usually, if not longer, and then by that time the information's not as fresh or as important or relevant because the time has moved over and the news cycle has changed, and then less people are interested to hear whatever topic I am discussing. Now, this is not me complaining because of the loss of money. That is completely irrelevant to this. I'm actually just questioning it because is this how they're going to continue to suppress information, suppress things going viral or up in the algorithm to get processed more? And what we're actually going to take a very close look at is this article right here, and I'd like to read through it with you guys. where it's talking about YouTube's working with Wikipedia now to add context to conspiracy videos. Now, this was a interview that she did at South by Southwest. The article here is written by Lauren Johnson, and it's actually discussing her interview with I think the head editor at Wired.com. Now, we can read through this together. It's not that long a read, and I want to go through some of this stuff with you guys. It says, the past 18 months have been tough for YouTube. Between discovering Russia-linked propaganda and dealing with brand safety issues that are a result of the platform's sophisticated programming advertising, YouTube is trying to clean up its act and assure both customers and brands that it's a clean place. In its newest effort to crack down on conspiracy videos that spread misinformation, YouTube has an interesting partner, Wikipedia. Videos that propagate theories like the moon landing will now include a short blurb I mean, I'm just trying to reread that because I know that's spelled, that's obviously a grammatical error, or this person, it says videos that propagate theories like the moon landing. So I guess theories like the moon landing. So anything that does, if you even say, if you're just mentioned in your video, hey, yeah, and then it's like the moon landing, you know, and then it's going to give you a little blurb next to it that's going to be like, oh, yes, the moon landing is exactly how it is written in history. Nothing was different whatsoever. I'm sorry, I got a little tangent there, but that's just reading through this. All right, we'll go back to it. Videos that propagate theories like the moon landing will now include a short blurb from Wikipedia providing facts that counter the theory. They don't even give you what theory they're countering. That's very intelligent writing there. If there's something that's happening in the world and there's an important news event, we want to be delivering the right set of information. So we felt like there was responsibility for us to do that, and for us to do that well. Wachichi, I'm sorry, I can't say that name. Said that's quote, that's what we did a year ago, but I think what we've seen is that it's not enough. There still continues to be a lot of misinformation out there. Now it goes on. Over the next couple of weeks, YouTube will address videos that focus on well-known conspiracies by placing information cues, text from Wikipedia, with information about the subject below the videos. Wajiki, I'm not even going to try to say her name anymore, did not say how many videos are flagged as conspiracies on the platform, but used a video titled 5 Most Believed Apollo 11 Moon Conspiracies as an example of how it will use the Wikipedia unit as a companion to the video. Now, this is, I mean, to me, and this is my opinion, but this becomes more and more Orwellian every day. It becomes more and more like Chinese-style communist control, command, control, and conquer conspiracy theorists and anybody who's a dissident, anybody who even thinks the wrong way, thought crimes and wrong thing. You know, there's just an amazing plethora of wide and diverse ideas. Why can't we just let those ideas freely flow on the internet instead of basically what amounts to Big Brother and censorship by having fact checkers and having but then who fact checks the fact checkers? And then who, I mean, and I understand how Wikipedia works, but I mean, popular consensus can be right in a lot of circumstances, but sometimes there just may be things that can be, you can disagree on without being labeled a conspiracy theorist. And I could go through a few of them just off the top of my head here. If you, for example, okay, so if you think about the Building 7, and how it collapsed. Is that just, I mean, is it thinking out loud? I'm not saying anything one way or the other. I'm not saying, yes, it was demolished, or I'm not saying it never happened, or anything like that. I'm basically just saying, okay, well, we can look at this and say, how did that happen? Can we study it more? Can we get more information? You know, but are the fact checkers just going to come and say, no, you can't question anything. That was already settled because Wikipedia knows. Wikipedia has settled it for you. Wikipedia has given you an explanation. You should be happy with that. But But why? Why should I be happy with that? Why is it not my right to continue to think openly and question the narrative, no matter what it is? And then to exercise this kind of oversight is just, it's beyond me. Let's keep reading. The fact that Wikipedia is an open source site where anyone can edit facts could be a problem. Users, I can't wait till the first, you're gonna get these screenshots of like crazy Wikipedia explanations next to videos, and it's just, I'm laughing out loud now because I had that picture in my head, and that's gonna be great when we see that. It says users are anonymous on Wikipedia, and editors of pages can often go back and forth over citing sources on divisive content. Wojcicki, I don't know, did not detail how fact-checking between Wikipedia and YouTube will work. Well, of course not. We don't need to fact-check that. Just no details. Just it'll work. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Okay, so now it says, at the same time that YouTube wants hammer down on vetting content, Wojcicki, I know I'm butchering her name. You guys are going to tell me how to pronounce it in the comments, I'm sure. It was clear that YouTube is not a news organization, adding that the company does not have fact checkers. That means the onus is on YouTube to vet publishers and figure out the authoritativeness and reputation of that publisher, she said. Yeah, exactly. During the hour-long talk, Wired editor-in-chief Nicholas Thompson repeatedly pushed for Wojcicki to explain where YouTube draws the line between serving as a platform for free speech and ethnically addressing extremist content that's often served to users through recommendations. And how do they define extremist content? You know, they have their set. We'll go through. We're going to use Wikipedia to look up what it means to be censored on YouTube. That's what we're going to do after this article. So you guys have that to look forward to. But reading through this, when Thompson asked if YouTube would be willing to make change to its recommendations that lead to people spending less time on the platform and therefore watching fewer ads, Wojcicki avoided the question by saying that the platform wants to, quote, do the right thing for the users. Okay, well, hopefully that they actually mean that, and you would hope, one would hope, right? Quote, doing the right thing to the user is easy, but to say, doing the right thing to the user is easy to say, but actually hard to do. The question is, what are the metrics that we should be optimizing in the future, in addition to the satisfaction of who? Of the users. Earlier in the talk, she compared YouTube's role in media and content ownership to a library based on the sheer amount of video that we have and the ability for people to learn and look up any kind of information. Libraries are also traditionally controversial places that celebrate banned books, she said. Quote, there has always been in the history of information some set of information that people think other people shouldn't have, quote. The bottom line is tricky to balance freedoms with a platform that has over 1 billion users who watch 1 billion hours of content a day, while YouTube believes in certain freedoms, expression, information, and opportunity. For example, this year has shown that sometimes those freedoms are in conflict with each other. So, I mean, there you have it. Let's see what Google or what Wikipedia thinks about censorship on Google. This is just saying Google's removal or omission of information from its services or those of its subsidiary companies such as YouTube in order to comply with company policies, legal demands, or various government censorship laws. Now, what about censorship on YouTube? And they have this whole thing, and they talk about how they're blocked in China here, but here's a list of the things that they are basically blocking for a variety of reasons, according to them. It says limiting public exposure to content that may ignite social or political unrest. Okay, well, that doesn't seem... What? That's got to be talking for like countries like in the Middle East, or I don't know, other countries that don't have the First Amendment. Because like telling like and I'm just going to go through these because it's kind of like it blows my mind, because if you limit the public exposure to content that might ignite social unrest, what if that content is something that, you know, people should be socially unrested for? You know what I mean? Like, what if it's because there's corruption in the government? What if it's because a former Secretary of State and a former administration did things that were really illegal and that most people would go to jail for, yet somehow they were able to sweep it under the rug? I mean, what if? I mean, so that's something they can cover, I guess. They can block it. Why not? Preventing criticism of a ruler, governing officials. Oh, yeah, of course. You can't criticize somebody who's governing you, because what would be the point of that? Just having the right to kind of say, hey, you know, you're not doing a good job governing. I would like somebody else to govern me. Nope. Gotta censor that. Oh my gosh. Violation of national laws. I understand that. I'll give them that. I'm a law and order guy. Yeah. Laws, if they're being violated, obviously, you can step in. Preventing access to videos judged to be inappropriate for youth. Okay, we kind of settled that a while ago. You know, explicit warnings, no pornographic stuff, no stuff like that. Although we have a tendency to not include extreme violence in that category. And to me, you know, extreme violence it can be just as harmful to a developing mind, but that's just for me personally, and I'm not going to try to get into a debate on restricting that content yet. Maybe in the future we'll have to see how this video goes. We'll see how this video goes. If it gets demonetized, I'm sure in the first like 2 minutes of it being up. It says business, schools, governments, agencies, and other private institutions often block social media sites, including YouTube, due to bandwidth limitations and the site's inevitable potential for distraction. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, yeah, the private institutions can do that, and the government, you know, if they want to say you can't watch YouTube at work, I'm not going to say that that's a bad thing, unless you're the president and maybe he's at work, but then I think that hopefully falls into a whole nother category. And this goes into more stuff talking about just, and a great example is what's happening with Dennis Prager, and their YouTube channel got shut down because they, you know, were giving these videos that were really thoughtful talks on different issues, and YouTube claimed it violated its policy. So I mean, that's basically where that is. They're in a battle with them right now. And we'll see how that ends for them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to go over. I got that off my chest. It's just been bothering me lately that I see it and I see it and I get upset, and I want to say something and spread the information and spread the word. Again, now this thing's gotten like no traction, and the site's not even working correctly. The same link, oh, now it's working. It wasn't even working not too long ago when I went over here to check it out. Something's up here, but I don't know. It's at whitehouse.gov, the Internet Bill of Rights. You guys can come sign this petition. I will definitely check out my last video. The link's in that description. I'm going to try my best to not get this video censored, so I might not throw that link into this description, but it'll give you a great reason to go to my landing page and check it out and go back and see what is going on. Now, talking about something super controversial, Donald Trump's Twitter. It says, today the House took major steps towards securing our schools by passing the Stop School Violence Act. We must put the safety of Americans' children first by improving training and by giving schools and law enforcement better tools. A tragedy like Parkland can never happen again. Can't happen ever again. Yeah, I agree. This is talking about this story. You have a bunch of high schoolers across the country who are walking out. And to me, it's just, it's just a little hyperbolic to me at this point. And, you know, the hysteria with which these people are continuing to push these issues and the dramatics, and, you know, the blind comparisons of you know, look at this person's sign here. It says NRA equals bloodshed. What? Who in their right mind, as a logical person making an argument, thinks that's okay? And look at this. This is some like vulgarity here in it. Almost. You can't really see it, but you guys can put that together and figure out what that means. You know, I just want to know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to reserve my opinion other than to say that I think this whole issue is being blown up out of proportion. And, you know, the way I think I've seen some pretty good memes lately that discuss this, where one talks about how the prevalence of these school shootings has only been since the last 20 years or so, 20 or 30 years. It's really become a problem that is getting to a larger degree and worse. But guns have been around for a lot longer than that. And maybe this has a lot more to do with antidepressants and people being medicated a certain way for certain conditions, and the interactions of those, along with what we're going to look at right here, which is a Q post. And it says, this is from February 23rd, just after the incident down there in Florida. It says, why school shootings? What is more precious than our children? Emotional pull, distraction event, gun grab event, democratic security. Why would locals go along with such a sick organized event? Brackets, they must control local police, school, county officials, etc. to work. Why? Money, federal aid plus donations. These people are sick. And it gives an article, a link to an article about the money after Sandy Hook, where it went. It says, follow the money. It's always about the money. Q. Okay? So my real question is, am I going to be labeled conspiratorial for just pointing and walking through a set of facts? You know, I think that's what this whole video is about. I'm not trying to push the limits with anybody. I'm not trying to you know, really go after anyone in particular here. Just pointing out the fact that, you know, censorship's a slippery slope that we can't get into. We can't let it just become a part of our day-to-day routine, because that's going to be where we get into some really tough situations. So I hope you guys understand everything I'm doing here is for the freedom to speak and the freedom to have information flow between each one of us. And it's just truly sad times we live in, where people are actively working to continually strangle out the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, two things that truly do make our country great. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. If you want to get really conspiratorial, you can go over here and check out the QAnon map, which I will leave a link to, and it's really cool. You know, you can do a little follow the lines and referring to CNN and CBS and read through these things. I mean, guys, go to this map. If you don't know a lot about this, if you're new to all this information, you know, go here, check out this map, and then just start typing this stuff into Google. They can't stop that, and inform yourself. And learn about things like the Tavistock Institute. Learn about Gannett Media and how they're connected to Q and everything. And Mika Brzezinski and Cooper and, you know, dissociative identity disorder, trauma-based mind control, Project Monarch. I mean, go look at these things. I already know this video is going to get demonetized, but that's okay, because they can't stop the truth forever. And eventually enough patriots are going to get together, and we're going to really get the information out there. But until then, this will have to do. So I want to thank everybody for watching. If you're looking for a way to support the channel, the best way you can support the channel, and it's free, is come here and click the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications, so that as soon as my videos get posted, you will be made aware. Just in case anything happens, I always have backups here. I'm working on keeping my DTube, at least. I'm going to get that one up and going, even though no platform's nearly as big or as powerful as YouTube. So for now, I'd like to stick here as long as they will have me. I thank them in advance for not demonetizing this video, and if they do, then we will have to have a review, and we'll see where that lands. But thank you so much to everybody else who's come and watch here. Another way you can support the channel is by commenting. These videos are meant as QAnon research boards, and they become that. I mean, you have so much great information being done by all these amazing, great people at the bottom of each one of these videos. It's just a fascinating read. I spent hours and hours reading through them. My last video was cool because I was referencing that Dutch Since had dropped in. If you guys don't know who Dutch Since is, go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. But he had dropped a little comment down there, and you know, so it's cool to have people, a great community. There's a great dialogue down there. There's so much information that I don't know, that I depend on getting from people like you who just go up there and just tell me, hey, you forgot this, you missed this, this is an important fact. So it's great to have that. If you're looking for another way to support, you can come over here to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/justinformedtalk, or you can come to patreon.com and put justinformedtalk in the search bar. You can come here, you'll come to my landing page, click the red button to become a patron. Thank you to each one of you who have put in and become a patron already. You can also come here and check out my rewards, check out my goal. You can earn a chance to have an email correspondence with me, and you can also earn a chance to become a featured Patreon patron of an episode. So those are all cool things you can check out over here at patreon.com. I'll put a link in the description. So thank you so much for watching tonight. And one thing I like to do at the end of each one of my episodes, which is the most important and the driving reason behind why I do this, why I make these videos, why I cover this information, they're about spreading the word of the Lord. And if you have not been feeling close to God lately, if you've been feeling discouraged at the lack of Q posts, or or discouraged that something's going on at work, or your family has got you a little bit down because they don't believe that any of this is real news, or whatever, look to God first. Open your heart to the Lord. Say a prayer. That's all it takes. It's pretty simple. All you have to do is open your heart up to the Lord. Share with Him what you are missing and what places where you feel weak, and He will strengthen you. Give Him the glory, and you will be saved. And if you do that, you'll see that your whole life will change. You'll become blessed. You will become stronger. You will become wiser. You will have a better center to go to when you need strength. He is a rock. The Lord is your rock, and He will be there for you like a rock, always dependable. And everyone should try to draw their strength from the Lord first, and look to Him first for guidance and understanding and wisdom. That's what we need in this world, and we need a lot more of that and a lot less censorship and all these other things that, to a degree have their place in society, but also speaking from the heart. I know that the Lord has His will, and it will be done. So we can just depend on Him and trust Him, and do what we can here on earth until we finally make it up there to have an eternity with God forever. So open your heart to the Lord, and you will have eternal life. That is certainly a truer statement has never been said. So thank you all so much for watching. That's going to be it for tonight. Don't forget, God's grace is greater. And I'm Craig. This is Just Informed Talk. God bless and Godspeed, Patriots.